Today I fucked up by giving my cat a ride. Today, my angel of a fiancé agreed to help me get my cat to his vet appointment. Toby, cat, not fiancé, is 15 years old and instantly cranky whenever the thought of travel farther than bed to couch is broached. So you can imagine his opinion of road trips. Usually on the 10-minute car ride to the vet, Toby regales us with his favorite performance art piece, reading the riot act in several languages while pooping and, more impressively, throwing up, all at the same time. His attitude does not improve upon arrival at the vet, nor is it assuaged by their means of obtaining his vitals. Toby's reputation is such that last time we were in, the doc gave us a sedative to give before his appointment. Now, years ago, my late wife and I bought him a fancy Kickstarter travel bag, soft walls, plenty of ventilation, and even a pouch mechanism wherein we could reach in and pet him during the trip. In the ensuing years, we've lined said fluffy palace with unwanted towels plenty, in order to make quick cleanup of his artistic offerings. This time, perhaps because of foolhardiness due to the sedative, or because I'm getting old and forgetful, the towels are omitted. The sedatives work, in that he is far easier to pack up, and is not his usual, vocal self. They do not work in that Toby still gives us a silent rendition of Do Not Want, a protest piece. Normally, this would be fine, except see above soft-sided carrier with no towels. After his appointment, the poor vets bag up his carrier in a hefty industrial trash bag, and give us their loaner carrier, the ye olde hard plastic variety. No worries. Car ride home is fine. No repeat performances, just a cat trying to figure out why he feels so angry about everything and, yet, so unenthusiastic about doing anything about it. I miss drugs sometimes. We get home, me with cat in the passenger seat. I get out, and place Toby on the hood of the car, so I can turn and get the other bag from the back, forgetting that he is not in his schwanky, rubber-footed, pliable soft palace, but in a hard plastic case with slippy, flat bottoms. Toby shifts his weight in confusion and disgust, and I turn around just in time to see the carrier not slide, but roll back / off the front of the car like a barrel over Niagara Falls. Luckily for this story, I get to the landing zone 2 seconds before Toby figures out the hinges came loose and that he can run, stumble to freedom. We get into the apartment, and I'll stress Toby is uninjured. He has even joined me in the living room as I write this, which is usually a sign of grudging détente after our little veterinary adventures. Too long didn't read, gave my cat drugs and discussed his future as a performance artist versus a promising career in Cirque du Soleil. Update, cat tax plus interest. Poor little guy. I just took my 15-year-old cat to the vet today, vitamin shot to help with his IBS, myself. In addition to singing me the song of his people both ways, as we were nearing home, he decided that the appropriate thing to do was expel all semi-solids from his body. From both ends. At the same time. Luckily for my car, he was in his carrier. Unfortunately for the cat, that meant his aft end was covered in the results of his protest when he was finally released. He got a wipe down and a half shower, then the carrier and its insert were cleaned out and washed. Then the shower got scrubbed. Then I came out to see him butt-scotching across the living room carpet, so he got another wipe down. I'm afraid that was all I could do without him helpfully opening one of my arteries for me. So I'm afraid poor Izzy will simply have to complete the detailed cleanup in the traditional manner. I don't expect him to be particularly cheerful the next couple days. We need the cat tax. Do not want, a protest piece. Oh my god, this entire story was hilarious. Oh damn, poor Toby lol. He's getting over it, slowly and grudgingly. Mine is just impossible to get into the cat carrier. I have to stand the carrier up vertically, grab her by all 4 feet, and lower her in ass end first. Same here. It's a 2-person job, at the least. Today I fucked up by taking the wrong medicine. I am on an antidepressant. I started at 25 milligrams but had no good results, but when going up to 50, it was a night and day difference. 2 weeks ago I moved from my app to a house I'm renting, and had a bag of empty medicine bottles I needed to take my info off of, as well as my old RX with the low dosage I wanted to take to the pharmacy to have them dispose of safely. The bag is in a kitchen drawer, and I took out the meds I take daily and put them nearby. Past week I started feeling anxious and kind of sad and down, and thought maybe it's just not being around so many people anymore. Maybe it's that lady time, or worse, maybe I'm slipping into another dark episode. I'm exhausted from spending months and months getting to this point of mental health, and was terrified of slipping back. My dumb butt grabbed the bottle this morning, looked to see when the next refill was, and realized I have been taking the 25 milligrams by accident for the past 2 weeks. After a good laugh, I called the pharmacy and got a refill for the correct dosage. I'm so happy to know I'm not on my way to another depression spell, and am out to start the day with my dog. From a personal standpoint, I think this is a hilarious mix-up on my part. Too long didn't read, went up in dosage for antidepressant months ago. Have accidentally been taking the low dose RX that did nothing, instead of the higher dose that has been amazing, for the past 2 weeks. Thought I was slipping into depression, but I was just momentarily dumb. I once took a 300 milligrams Seroquel, maybe spelling that wrong. Before work BC I thought it was my mood stabilizer. I'm supposed to take the Seroquel before bed for sleep as it knocks me out. An hour into work I almost fell asleep standing up. Thought something was seriously fucking wrong till I left work early and had my dad come get me because I couldn't even stand. Get home, check my bottle. Oops. Went right to bed and proceeded to fuck up my sleep schedule for the rest of the week. When I first started Seroquel, my doctor said at nighttime, not at bedtime. I had a third shift job. You see where this is going. Sounds to me like you learned a couple of things. 1. It's working, and you're on the correct dosage. That is huge. 2. You've got some serious resilience going on if you can laugh this off, fix the problem, and move on. That's also huge. My son is on some low-level anxiety meds. Shortly after he started taking them he missed a couple of doses. We were at a birthday party, and it was pretty crazy. Sugared up overexcited kids running around screaming, the usual. He comes up to me and his mom and explains what's up and that he's starting to feel overwhelmed. Take him aside and explain that this is great, he can name his feelings and tell what's wrong, which he never could before, and that he's on the right dosage if it wore off that quickly. He nodded and then decided to help all the adults run the party. He had a great time making sure everybody got cake and was taken care of. It ended up being a great time for all of us. Pre-meds it would have been meltdown city and we would have had to leave early. Glad you're feeling better, Op. Hope it keeps up for you. You got this. Man, the best part of this is your son's awareness of his own feelings. As a parent of 2 kids I would feel very proud on that day. Congratulations. Well, good thing you found what the problem was. Could have been worse. I was accidentally given the extended release version of an antidepressant once, but with the instructions to take it like the immediate release I was supposed to get. Needless to say, I fully understood the suicide warnings on those pills. Shit built up in my system till I was manic, awake for almost 4 days flipping between hysterical crying and extreme boredom. What made it even worse was, once I got the right stuff, it was abundantly clear I didn't even need it, or any antidepressant at all. Fucking doctors, convincing you need something with literally zero testing to back it up. If it is the same drug, why not just take 2 of the 25 milligrams? I did that today, but I had been taking 1 pill a day thinking it was the 50 milligrams tablet, which explains why it wasn't working. LPT Don't get too drunk while in your parents' house. Called my buddy yesterday and got blasted at the same time. We have long chats. I got so blasted that I even got another beer at the end of my binge because I wanted to go further, but I was probably loud as hell in the process. They were trying to go to sleep. These things weren't small beers. They were like 2-3's worth of a standard beer per bottle and can, and I attempted to have 4 of them. I got so drunk my dad came in and told me to just go to bed, so he probably saw me in a pretty undignified state, because I'd just thrown up a couple minutes ago. So I've lost some of my drinking privileges. I can't have alcohol in my room, I can't have that much beer at any given point. Probably for the best. Because I upset my parents. They don't want me to become an alcoholic, and while I moderate myself as a whole, I still unnecessarily worried them. Too long didn't read, got too drunk, worried my parents. This is what they call binge drinking. You shouldn't do that. They don't want me to become an alcoholic. I wouldn't get too hung up on that label. Sounds to me like you already have an abusive, unhealthy, and potentially dangerous relationship with the drug. So much so that it's affecting relationships with people you care about. Maybe you should stop for a while. Going cold turkey and owning it like a boss will be the self-correction that will make them realize their fears are unfounded and may even spark pride in your maturity. Go cold turkey and don't be loud about it, but make sure it's known that you've reevaluated your priorities and don't have time for that kind of recreation. And then use that time to refocus and be mindful. The only useless pain is the pain we don't learn from, so use this time to reflect and enrich yourself, further establishing the maturity you bring to the situation. Eventually, when it's abundantly clear you've matured and have a handle on the situation, make a kick-in old-fashioned to share with your old man. Tell him you appreciate his concern and accountability, that you've progressed because of it and wanted to toast him. Pro tip: watch your new low tolerance and don't get sloppy in that moment. Leave it at one drink, and that moment will serve as a platform to reshape your relationship and move forward in a positive way. Smiley face. Sounds like lessons are being learned really. I drank a whole lot while I was of age and younger with friends. 19 in Canada and got into it around 17. I didn't become an alcoholic and learned to responsibly drink either at home at 19 or coming home being scolded beforehand. Now I don't drink often and learned how to handle myself through experience and parents/people confronting me responsibly. If the lesson is to get wasted at parties and away from people who can call you on your shit, then you'll learn the hard way. Hopefully not through hurting you or someone else. How old are you? Must be illegal for you to drink then. Love this. In many places you can drink at 18 and shit like this occurs. People are young, they'll learn.